My child, do not leave yet. Do not turn this off. I know exactly how tired you are. I see you sitting there. I know about those moments when you pull into the driveway after a long day of work, and you just sit in your car in the silence. You grip the steering wheel and take a deep, heavy breath before you walk through the front door. You do this because you feel like you have to put on a brave face for everyone else. I see the heavy sigh you let out when no one is watching. You carry so much weight on your shoulders. You worry about the mortgage. You worry about the grocery bills and the credit cards. You are tired of the endless cycle of trying to make ends meet in a world that feels so incredibly demanding and cold. You feel like you are running on empty. You give everything you have to your family and your job, but you feel like no one truly sees your sacrifice. The world might take your quiet strength for granted, but I do not. Heaven does not. I brought you to this exact moment to tell you something that will change everything. Your name is being honored in heaven today. I have watched you work so hard. I have seen you wake up early when your body was screaming for more rest. I have seen you skip meals and deny yourself the things you want, just so your loved ones could have what they need. I was there in the kitchen when you looked at the stack of bills on the counter and silently asked me how you were going to pay them all. I heard the prayers you whispered when you thought you were completely alone. You think those prayers hit the ceiling and fell back down. You think I have been silent, but my precious child, I have been working in the unseen. Every single tear you have held back has been collected. Every sacrifice you made in secret has been recorded. Today, the angels are rejoicing over you. Today your name is spoken with honor in my kingdom, because you have loved others with my heart, even when your own heart was breaking. I know you are fighting a battle of exhaustion right now. You look at your life and you wonder if this is all there is. You go to work, and you pay the bills, and you sleep, and you do it all over again. You feel like you are stuck on a treadmill. You see other people buying new homes, and taking vacations, and living comfortably, and a quiet voice of doubt whispers that you have been left behind. You wonder if you did something wrong. You wonder if I have forgotten you. Listen to my voice right now. I have never forgotten you, not for a single second. I have been walking right beside you, holding you up when you felt like collapsing. The reason you feel so much pressure right now is not because you are failing. It is because you are on the very edge of your greatest breakthrough. The enemy pushes the hardest when you are closest to the finish line. He wants you to give up today because he knows what I am going to release into your life tomorrow. But I am telling you to hold on. Do not let go of your faith. I am stepping into your situation right now. I am bringing divine order to your finances. I am bringing supernatural peace to your anxious mind. The season of constantly striving and barely surviving is coming to an end. I am preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies. Those who overlooked you will see my favor upon your life. The managers who passed you over for that promotion will wonder how you suddenly stepped into a position of such high authority and grace. The people who took your kindness for weakness will stand amazed at the strength and the dignity I am wrapping around you. I am your vindicator. You do not need to fight for yourself. You do not need to defend yourself. Be still and know that I am your God. I will fight this battle for you. I want you to breathe right now. Just take a deep breath and let go of the tension in your chest. Let go of the worry about next month. Let go of the anxiety about your career. I own everything. The earth and everything in it belongs to me. Do you really think I will let my beloved child go without? I feed the birds of the air, and you are worth so much more than them. I know exactly what you need before you even ask. And I have already set the provision in motion. Money is coming to you from unexpected places. Opportunities are lining up for you that you did not even apply for. I am moving the hearts of people in positions of power to favor you. You have felt so lonely, even in crowded rooms. You have smiled at your coworkers and laughed at their jokes while carrying a silent storm of anxiety inside your chest. You have checked your bank account, balancing the numbers in your head, praying that a direct deposit clears before an automatic payment hits. I know the stress of the modern world. I know how the culture tells you that your worth is tied to your credit score, or your job title, or the car you drive. I am here to completely shatter those lies. Your worth was determined on a cross. You are fully known and deeply loved by the Creator of the universe. When I look at you, I do not see a struggling worker or a tired parent. I see a king and a queen of my kingdom. I see a warrior who has survived every single attack the enemy has thrown. You are so much stronger than you realize, but you do not have to be strong right now. You can rest in my arms. You can let the tears fall. You can admit that you are tired. I will not judge you. I am the safe place you have been looking for. The world demands perfection, but I only ask for your heart. Hand me your heavy burdens. Give me the anxiety about your children. Give me the frustration about your career. Let me carry it. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. As you listen to the sound of this voice, allow my Holy Spirit to fill the room you are in. Let a warm wave of peace start from the top of your head and flow all the way down to your feet. Every muscle that is tight is relaxing now. Every racing thought is slowing down. You are safe. You are protected. You are heard. Keep listening, my child, because as we continue this journey together tonight, I am going to reveal a very specific door that I am unlocking for you. There is a shift happening in the heavenly realm right now concerning your family and your future. The struggles you faced in this past season were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to prepare you to carry the massive blessing I am about to hand you. Do not close this message. Let my words wash over you and prepare your spirit for the incredible revelation I have for you next. I told you a specific door was being unlocked for you. Listen closely now, because this is the moment your perspective must shift. For years you have watched other people walk through doors of opportunity, while you stayed behind. You have sat in your workplace watching people who do not work half as hard as you get the promotions and the raises. You have scrolled through your phone late at night, looking at pictures of old friends buying beautiful homes and taking their families on expensive vacations. A quiet, heavy sadness settles in your chest. You wonder why you are still renting. You wonder why your bank account never seems to grow no matter how many overtime hours you pick up. You feel like you are doing everything right but still falling behind. The American dream you were promised feels like it is slipping through your fingers, and you are exhausted from trying to catch it. I see the frustration you carry when you clock in every morning. I know about the managers who took credit for your ideas. I know about the times you covered for someone else, and they never even said thank you. You feel invisible in a corporate machine that only sees you as a number. But you are not a number to me. You are my chosen vessel, and your vindication has officially arrived. You thought the delay meant I was ignoring you. You thought because you were passed over that your destiny was blocked. Hear my voice clearly today. The delay was never a denial. I was hiding you. I was protecting you from rooms you were not ready to enter, and from people who would have drained your spirit. Think of my servant Joseph. He was betrayed by his own flesh and blood. He was sold away and forced to work as a servant. He did everything with excellence, but he was still lied about and thrown into a dark prison. He watched the cupbearer go back to the palace while he sat in a cold cell forgotten by the world. For years it looked like heaven was entirely silent. It looked like the people who did wrong were winning, while the one who stayed faithful was losing. But I was working in the unseen. I was using the pain of the prison to build the character required for the palace. And in one single day, Joseph went from a forgotten prisoner to the second most powerful man in the kingdom. I am about to do a sudden shift in your life, just like I did for him. The people who thought they could keep you down are about to watch me elevate you. The supervisors who overlooked you will wonder how you suddenly stepped into a position of massive favor and authority. I am bypassing the traditional corporate ladders for you. I am creating a lane of success that is entirely yours. You do not need to fight for your reputation. You do not need to argue with those who misunderstood you. I am your defender, and I am clearing your name in the heavenly realm and the earthly realm. Do not look at the success of others and think you have failed. They are running a completely different race. Your path is unique because your calling is heavy. The reason you had to endure so much unfairness is that I needed to see if you would keep your heart pure when you were treated poorly. And you did. You kept showing up. You kept being kind to people who were cruel to you. You kept working with integrity even when no one was watching. That is why your name is being honored among the angels right now. I am breaking the cycle of exploitation in your life today. You will no longer be the person everyone uses and discards. I am placing a crown of dignity and respect upon your head. The atmosphere in your workplace is shifting right now. Favor is flowing into the rooms where your name is discussed. I am aligning the hearts of decision-makers to look upon you with grace. Opportunities you did not even apply for are being prepared for you. I am opening a door of financial increase that no economy can shut. But you must let go of the bitterness. You must forgive the people who took advantage of you. If you hold on to the resentment, it will poison the blessing I am trying to hand you. Let it go. Hand the anger over to me. Let me be the judge, and let me be the restorer. You just focus on staying close to my heart. Breathe in my peace right now. Feel the heavy chains of comparison falling off your wrists. You do not have to compete with anyone anymore. Your provision is guaranteed by the Creator of the universe. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and I know exactly how to get my wealth into your hands. I am preparing a double portion for you. For every tear you cried in frustration, I am giving you a double measure of joy. For every dollar that was stolen or withheld from you, I am bringing a double return. But there is something deeper we must address before you can step into this double portion. The financial breakthrough is coming, but your soul needs a massive healing first. You have been wandering in a spiritual wilderness, feeling disconnected and lost. You look in the mirror and you feel like you are aging without a purpose. You are carrying a heavy load of past regrets and identity crisis. Do not turn away, because in the very next moment, I am going to wash away the shame of your past and officially declare your wilderness season over. I am going to speak a new name over you. Keep your heart open and listen closely to what I am about to do next. I told you I was going to speak a new name over you. For so long you have let the world name you. Society has called you average. Your bank account has called you lacking. Your past mistakes have called you unworthy. But today, I am erasing every single label that the culture of this world has pasted onto your soul. I am stepping into the dry and barren wilderness of your life, and I am declaring that it is finished. The season of wandering without a purpose is over. You are no longer the forgotten one. I call you chosen. I call you redeemed. I call you my beautiful masterpiece. I have watched you wander through this modern desert, searching for an oasis. You have looked for living water in places that only leave you feeling more thirsty. The world promised you that if you just worked hard enough and achieved enough, you would finally find peace. But instead of peace, you found a heavy yoke of anxiety. You found a culture that constantly demands more from you. I want you to completely disconnect from that lie right now. You are not a machine designed for constant production. You are a human being, perfectly crafted in my holy image. Look at how you have been living lately. You wake up to a loud alarm clock, and you rush through your morning, and you sit in endless traffic, just to get to a job that completely drains your spirit. You come home exhausted, and you stare at a glowing screen until you finally fall asleep. You look in the mirror, and you see the new lines on your face, and you wonder where all the time went. You ask yourself if you have wasted your best years. You feel this deep, aching emptiness inside your chest, even when you are surrounded by a crowd of people. You have tried so hard to fill that dark void with the things this modern world sells you. You thought if you just got that next promotion, or if you finally bought that bigger house, or if you just reached a certain number in your savings account, that you would finally feel secure. But the target keeps moving further away. The modern machine is designed to keep you running on a wheel that never ever stops. It tells you to compare your behind-the-scenes reality with the carefully edited highlights of everyone else. You scroll through endless images of perfection, and you feel a quiet despair growing in your stomach. You wonder why your journey has been so difficult, while others seem to glide through life. Let me lift that heavy burden off your shoulders today. You cannot compare your deeply rooted purpose to the shallow success of this world. The taller the tree is meant to grow, the longer the roots must quietly stretch in the dark soil. But what if I told you that you were never created to run on that exhausting wheel? I did not breathe my Holy Spirit into your lungs so you could just pay endless bills and fade away. You have a divine calling on your life. My ancient prophet Isaiah declared that I am doing a new thing. He said that I make a wide path in the wilderness, and I create fresh streams in the dry wasteland. That is exactly what I am doing for you right this very moment. You thought you were buried in a dark grave, but you were actually planted as a powerful seed. The darkness you have been walking through was not meant to destroy you. It was the rich soil of preparation for your next chapter. You have carried so much heavy guilt over the choices you made when you were younger. You replay the financial mistakes and the broken relationships in your mind late at night when the house is quiet. You let the enemy convince you that you are damaged goods and that your best days are entirely behind you. Stop listening to the father of lies. When I look at your past, I do not see a messy list of failures. I see the exact curriculum I used to build your incredible wisdom. Every wrong turn you took, I have already factored into my ultimate plan for your future. I am redeeming the time you thought was permanently lost. I am going to do more in your next 5 years than you could have accomplished in 50 years on your own strength. The delay you experienced was not a punishment. It was a holy preservation. I had to keep you hidden while I worked on your character. I had to make sure that when I finally handed you the massive blessing, it would not crush you. The waiting room is always the hardest place to sit, but it is exactly where your spiritual muscles were built. You are completely ready now. The doors that were locked tight for years are going to swing wide open without you even having to push them. Take a deep breath and let that truth sink into your weary mind. You do not have to figure everything out today. You do not have to have a perfect 10-year plan. You only need to hold my hand and take the next simple step. Let go of the heavy expectation that you have to be successful by the brutal standards of society. The culture tells you that you must hustle and exhaust yourself to be worthy of love and respect. But my kingdom operates on grace. You do not have to earn my favor. You already have it. I am breaking the heavy chains of the corporate grind off your tired mind. I am washing away the toxic anxiety that tells you that you are falling behind your peers. You are exactly where you need to be for the massive miracle I am currently orchestrating. Do you feel that subtle shift in the atmosphere around you? That is the sound of your wilderness season coming to an abrupt end. The dry ground is drinking the rain of my blessing. But I know that even as I say this, there is a much deeper wound we still need to touch. I know about the heavy mask you wear every single day. I know how you smile and make everyone else laugh while you are secretly breaking apart on the inside. You have been the strong pillar for everyone else for so long that you forgot how to let anyone take care of you. Do not walk away from my voice right now. In the very next moment, I am going to reach into the most hidden corners of your heart and dry the tears you never let anyone else see. I am preparing to activate a divine shield of protection over your mind and your household that no weapon of the enemy can ever penetrate. Stay with me right here, because your total healing is just beginning. I promise to reach into the most hidden corners of your heart and dry the tears you never let anyone else see. This is the moment we deal with the heavy mask you have been wearing. You know exactly what mask I am talking about. It is the brave face you put on before you walk into the grocery store or step into the office. You are living in one of the most connected societies in human history, yet you feel more isolated than ever before. You stand in crowded rooms and you feel entirely invisible. People ask you how you are doing, and you give them the standard American answer. You say you are fine. You say you are just busy. You laugh at the jokes and you play the part perfectly. But inside your chest, there is a quiet, numbing ache. You are suffering from a smiling depression that no one around you even notices. You work so hard to make sure everyone else is comfortable. You check on your friends and you sacrifice for your children, and you show up for your employer. But when was the last time someone truly checked on you? When was the last time someone looked past your polite smile and saw the overwhelming exhaustion in your eyes? It hurts deeply when the people you love the most do not realize that you are drowning right in front of them. You feel like a ghost in your own life. You go through the motions of paying bills and cooking dinner and folding laundry, but your spirit feels completely disconnected and dry. But I notice you, my beautiful child. I see what happens when the front door finally closes and the house gets quiet. I see how the heavy smile drops the second you are alone in your bedroom. I know about the times you have sat on the edge of your bed, staring at the floor, feeling totally empty. I know about the tears you forcefully swallow down because you do not want to burden your family with your dark thoughts. You have been the strong pillar for so long. You are the person everyone else calls when they are in crisis. You are the reliable one who fixes the problems and carries the emotional weight of your entire household. But who takes care of you when you are quietly falling apart? Who holds you when you feel like you cannot take one more single step forward? I do. I am the one holding you. Long ago my servant David wrote in Psalm 34 that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. That is not just an ancient piece of poetry. That is a living reality for you right this very second. You are not crying into an empty void. I have been sitting right beside you in the dark, every time your heart physically ached from the stress of your finances and your future heart. I was there wrapping my holy presence around you. I caught every single tear that stained your pillow. You are never alone, not even for a fraction of a second. You have my holy permission to take the heavy mask off right now. You do not need to perform for me. You do not need to pretend that you have your life completely figured out. Let the thick defensive walls come down. If you need to weep, then weep freely. Let the deep grief and the years of emotional exhaustion flow out of you. Do not hold it in anymore. I am gently washing away the deep psychological burnout that has been paralyzing your tired soul. I am directly touching the parts of your mind that feel bruised and battered by the relentless demands of this incredibly fast-paced modern world. You are completely safe here in my presence. I am lifting the heavy burden of false responsibility off your tired shoulders. You do not have to hold the whole world together. You do not have to fix every broken person around you. You have been carrying a weight that I never actually asked you to carry. I am the savior. Let me do my job. Let me heal the broken relationships. Let me provide the money for the unexpected expenses. Let me secure the future of your children. Your only job right now is to lean against my chest and let me restore your shattered peace. Breathe deeply and let my healing love completely fill your lungs. Feel the tight, painful tension in your neck, and your shoulders begin to physically melt away. Every defensive posture your body has taken to survive the trauma of the past is relaxing now. The pressure to constantly be the hero for everyone around you is officially lifted. But as this deep emotional healing washes over you, we must immediately secure the perimeter of your life. The enemy hates it when you find this kind of profound peace, and he will try to send new storms to distract you. He will try to attack your finances and your family, to pull you right back into that dark pit of severe anxiety. That is exactly why you must not leave this message. Keep listening closely, because I am about to activate a supernatural divine shield over your entire household. I am preparing to place a permanent wall of fire around your mind, your physical health, and your bank accounts. This next revelation is absolutely critical to lock in your permanent breakthrough. Do not look away. I told you I was going to place a permanent wall of fire around you. Listen carefully, because this divine shield is not just something I do for you while you sit passively. It is something we build together right now. For too long you have let the enemy use your own mouth against you. The modern world has trained you to expect the absolute worst. You watch the 24-hour news cycle, and you absorb the constant panic about the economy. You look at the rising cost of living, and you speak defeat over your own household before the month even begins. You make self-deprecating jokes about your failures to make other people comfortable. You constantly say that you are broke, or that you are exhausted, or that nothing ever works out for you. You do not realize the immense spiritual power you hold in your lungs. Death and life are in the power of your tongue. Every time you speak those negative words, you are actively agreeing with the lies of the enemy. You are tearing down the very blessings I am trying to build. Today, that destructive habit ends completely. I am retraining your spiritual vocabulary. I am going back to the beginning of creation. When I created the universe, I did not just think about light. I spoke light into existence. Because you are made in my exact image, your words have the exact same creative authority over your reality. You cannot speak poverty and expect to walk into my abundance. You cannot speak fear and expect to experience my supernatural peace. You sit in those corporate meetings feeling like an imposter, and you silently tell yourself you are not smart enough to be there. You look at the price of basic groceries, and you feel a wave of sheer panic, and you tell yourself you will always be struggling. I am telling you to stop cursing your own future. Right now, I want you to shift your posture. I am no longer just speaking to you. I am putting my holy words directly into your mouth. We are going to declare your new identity together. I want you to hear your own voice speaking these truths into the atmosphere of your room. Even if you have to whisper them because people are sleeping nearby, I want you to say them. Say this with me right now. I am a deeply loved child of the Most High God. My worth is not determined by my salary or my job title or my credit score. I am completely forgiven for every single mistake in my past. The blood of Jesus Christ has washed away all my guilt and all my shame. I am no longer a slave to the brutal anxiety of this fast-paced modern world. Do you feel the heavy atmosphere in your room starting to shift? Keep going. We are building the wall of fire brick by brick. Say this next. My mind is a holy fortress of peace. I absolutely reject the spirit of fear and panic. When I look at my future, I do not see disaster or failure. I see the incredible provision of my Father in heaven. I command my racing thoughts to bow down to the gentle authority of Jesus Christ. I will not lose another night of sleep, worrying about things that are entirely out of my control. I release my desperate need to figure everything out. You are doing so incredibly well. The enemy is absolutely terrified of a believer who finally understands exactly who they are. He loved it when you were chronically insecure. He loved it when you felt invisible at your job and completely unappreciated at home. But you are waking up today. You are stepping into the royal authority I gave you. You are taking back the territory the enemy stole from your mind. Now declare this over your household. My family is heavily protected by the angels of heaven. Sickness and disease cannot cross the threshold of my front door. The generational curses of poverty and addiction and divorce are permanently broken in my bloodline today. I am the one who changes the trajectory of my entire family history. My children and their children will inherit massive blessings and not heavy burdens. I am stepping into a season of unprecedented divine favor. Let those powerful words settle deep into your weary spirit. You are not just repeating a positive psychology trick. You are using the sword of the Spirit to cut down the invisible barriers that have kept you trapped in a cycle of mere survival. You are agreeing with heaven. The wall of fire is fully activated around your life right now. No weapon formed against you will ever prosper. The people who scheme against you in secret will fall into their own traps. You do not even have to lift a single finger to defend yourself, because I am standing guard over your life. But you need to prepare yourself for what happens next. Now that your mind is completely shielded and your true identity is restored, we have to deal with the practical reality of your situation. We have to address the empty bank accounts and the massive debts that have been stealing your joy for years. I told you earlier that I was preparing a double portion for you. I want you to pay very close attention, because when you wake up tomorrow morning, a very specific financial shift is going to begin in your life. The massive breakthrough I am releasing is not just spiritual, it is incredibly tangible, and it is going to fundamentally change the way you live. Do not walk away now. Stay right here with me as I reveal exactly how I am going to turn your financial famine into absolute abundance in the next section. I told you that when you wake up tomorrow morning, a very specific financial shift is going to begin. You know that sinking feeling in your stomach when you open your banking application. You know the quiet dread of checking the mail because you are afraid of another unexpected bill. You work so hard, but the rising cost of living makes you feel like you are walking backward. You have laid awake in bed, staring at the ceiling and doing the math in your head. You calculate the rent and the groceries and the car payment, and you realize there is simply not enough money at the end of the month. The world tells you that this is just the way it is. But I operate entirely outside of the systems of this world. I am the creator of all resources. I want you to think about my faithful servant Job. He lost all of his wealth, he lost his health. He sat in the ashes, and the people closest to him told him he must have done something terrible to deserve such a massive failure. They judged him by his current circumstances, but he refused to turn his back on me. He kept his eyes fixed on heaven even when his earthly life was falling completely apart. And because of his unwavering faith, I restored exactly double of everything he had lost. That is the exact season you are stepping into right now. You have endured a long and painful season of financial famine. You have watched other people prosper while you faithfully struggled in the shadows. But your season of drought is officially over. I am declaring a double portion over your household today. For every dollar that was unfairly taken from you, I am bringing a double return. For every opportunity that you missed because you were taking care of someone else, I am opening 2 new doors of massive favor. I am moving behind the scenes right now to shift the hearts of the people who hold the resources you need. Unexpected provision is going to find you. Debts that have been a heavy chain around your neck are going to be supernaturally canceled and resolved. I am bringing new streams of income into your life that will not require you to sacrifice your physical health or your precious time with your family. Do you believe I can do this for you? I need you to open your hands right now. Just sit quietly and open your empty hands. This is a physical act of faith. You cannot receive the abundance of my kingdom if your hands are tightly closed in fear. Release your tight grip on your financial anxiety. I know the exact numbers in your bank account, and I am not intimidated by them at all. You have sown beautiful seeds of generosity in your life. You gave to people when your own accounts were dangerously low. You bought food for others when you were quietly struggling to feed yourself. You thought no one noticed those quiet sacrifices. But heaven kept a perfect record of every single act of love. The harvest of those seeds is fully ripe, and it is falling directly into your open hands. I am not just restoring your money, I am restoring your lost time. The years you spent stuck in a toxic job are being redeemed. The years you spent paralyzed by grief and depression are being washed completely clean. I am going to accelerate your progress so fast that it will absolutely amaze you. What takes other people 20 years to build, I am going to establish for you in one single season of grace. But to fully step into this massive double portion, you must do one final thing tonight. There is one last piece of heavy emotional baggage you must drop before you close your eyes. If you carry this hidden weight into tomorrow, it will block the beautiful blessing we just established. Stay with me for this very last step. Do not leave me now, because we are going to pray a gentle prayer of absolute surrender together that will seal this financial and spiritual miracle forever. I told you we needed to pray a prayer of absolute surrender to seal this miracle. Surrender is a terrifying word for someone who is used to controlling every single detail of their existence. You have spent your entire adult life managing crises and fixing problems for everyone else. The idea of truly letting go feels dangerous to your tired mind. You secretly think that if you drop your hands for even a second, the whole world will crash down around you. You believe it is your sole responsibility to keep the plates spinning, but I am asking you to completely trust me tonight. You cannot carry the heavy weight of tomorrow while desperately trying to find rest today. I want you to close your eyes if you are in a safe place to do so. I want you to mentally gather the massive pile of unpaid bills, the broken relationships, the fear of your financial future, and the deep anxiety over your children. Gather every piece of that heavy burden in your arms. Now imagine walking straight up to my holy throne of grace and setting that massive pile completely down at my feet. Walk away from it. Do not turn around. Do not try to pick it back up when you wake up tomorrow morning. It fully belongs to me now. I am officially taking the night shift over your life. I do not sleep and I do not slumber. I will stand faithful guard over your household while you rest your weary head. You have been fighting a brutal spiritual battle that you were never designed to fight on your own. The modern culture constantly tells you to hustle harder and sleep less, but heaven is commanding you to rest deeper. Rest is a powerful weapon against the enemy. When you intentionally choose to rest, you are boldly declaring that your trust is firmly planted in the Creator of the universe and not in your own fragile human strength. As you lie in your bed or sit in your quiet room right now, I want you to feel the actual physical weight of my perfect peace settling over your shoulders. My holy angels are permanently stationed at your doors and your windows. The deep darkness of this chaotic world cannot penetrate the holy light that is currently surrounding your home. This is your exact moment of divine transition. The name that was mocked by the world is being honored in heaven today. Let us pray together right now to seal this incredible reality. You can repeat these sacred words in your heart or speak them softly into the silent room. Father in heaven, I come to you right now completely exhausted and entirely broken. I have tried to do everything on my own limited strength, and I have absolutely nothing left to give. I lay down my human pride, and I completely lay down my intense need to control my unpredictable life. I ask you to forgive me for the many times I let loud fear speak louder than your quiet promises. I ask you to forgive me for the dark moments I doubted your goodness when the road became incredibly lonely and difficult. I choose to forgive the people who took advantage of my kindness at work and in my personal life. I release them from my judgment and I hand them over to your perfect justice. Tonight, I fully accept the massive double portion you have prepared for me in the heavenly realm. I receive the unexpected financial breakthrough that is rapidly coming my way. I receive the supernatural healing for my deeply tired mind and my physically weary body. I boldly declare that my long, painful season of endless struggling is permanently over. I ask you to completely wash away the heavy, toxic residue of anxiety that has clung tightly to my spirit for so many years. Silence the loud, demanding voices of cultural doubt and social comparison. Fill my hollow heart with your perfect, gentle peace that passes all human understanding. I lift up my precious children and my extended family to you right now. Place an unbreakable, permanent hedge of protection around every single one of them. Guide their daily steps and keep them completely safe from the hidden traps of the enemy. I lift up my daily career and my fragile finances to you. Give me the profound spiritual wisdom to manage the massive financial blessings you are about to unexpectedly release into my open hands. Do not let the new money change my pure heart. Keep me firmly anchored in your grace. Lord Jesus, you are my only firm foundation. When the terrifying storms of this modern life rage loudly around my house, I absolutely will not be shaken. I am safely, securely anchored in your unfailing eternal love. I give you total permission to completely rewrite the rest of my earthly story. From this exact specific moment forward, I intentionally choose to walk in absolute total victory. I choose to see myself exactly the way you currently see me. I am a royal heir to your glorious heavenly kingdom, and my specific name is deeply honored by the angels today. Take a long, slow, deep breath, my beloved child. The holy prayer is forever sealed. The spiritual transaction in the heavenly realm is entirely complete. The heavy, rusty chains that bound your mind this morning are lying completely broken on the floor tonight. You are going to wake up tomorrow morning with a strange and beautiful sense of lightness expanding in your chest. The deep, heavy depression that severely clouded your daily vision is completely permanently gone. The intense, paralyzing fear of the future has been totally replaced by a quiet and powerful anticipation of my miraculous goodness. If this profound, timely message deeply resonated with your weary spirit tonight, I want you to proudly claim it by simply typing Amen in the comments below. Let that small, simple word be your bold digital signature of unwavering faith. Share this exact message with someone you know who is secretly, desperately struggling and needs to hear that heaven is fiercely fighting for them too. Subscribe to this channel to stay closely connected to my daily heavenly encouragement. Now rest your beautiful mind, my precious child. The long, difficult battle is already won. I love you with an everlasting, eternal love, and I will proudly see you tomorrow morning.